You know what, guys? I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what to talk about today, but I'm committing to the commitments that I want to make in my life, and I'm committing to doing better, and committing to perseverance, and committing to consistency, and staying loyal to that. And I want to learn how to trust myself. That's the thing. I feel like how is an audience supposed to trust me when I can't even trust myself? You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's why it's so hard for me to keep like a community, is because like I can't get a community to trust me, because I'm saying like, oh yeah, I'm gonna post this many times. I'm gonna be so consistent with content. I'm gonna do all these empty promises, and no delivery from me. You know what I mean? Like I ain't operating like Amazon Prime. I ain't got no one day shipping. I ain't got no prime delivery. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking forever. And I want to commit to the consistency, and I want to commit to all these promises that I've made, not only to other people but to myself. So I want to start off by reading this passage from a book that I've been reading. My girlfriend got this for me. It's called The Pivot Year by Brianna Wiest, I believe. Wiest? I thought you said East. Shout out SpongeBob. Anyways, but basically the whole thing about the pivot year is every day you read another page. So there's like 365 different days, and it covers one page. And in the book, it gives you like a passage of it's kind of just like words of wisdom just to have for the morning, you know what I mean? Or the afternoon, and just kind of like keep in mind, it's not meant to like change your life. It's called the pivot year. It's because this is the year you pivot, like sometimes we're running through life in like a straight line, but sometimes things happen and we want change for ourselves, and we can't just keep going the same path. So we got to pivot into doing something else. And I feel like this is my pivot year. And so I've been reading this, and today's passage, let me read it to you. I'm on day 51. Okay, this is what I read today. I thought it really related to how I was feeling today. So, day 51. It may seem as though other people stumble upon their dream lives, but the truth is that everything inspiring is layered upon itself through time. Everything is continuously and consciously chosen over and over again until it forms into reality. Soulmate relationships are built, dream careers are built, resilient people are built, often with the pieces of their own greatest failures, mistakes, and missteps. You do not have to be perfect. You just have to keep going. You have to keep moving in the direction of your dreams. Now, let's break it down really quick, because what does all that mean? I feel like a lot of us, or many people, read because people say, oh, you should read every day. It's good for you. Like, if you read consistently all the time, then you're going to experience massive growth in your life. If you journal every day, all these fucking self-help gurus be telling you like, yo, you got to read it. What is that guy, Ty Lopez? He was just like, here in my garage, just bought this Lamborghini, but you know what's better than Lamborghini? Knowledge. The more you learn, the more you earn. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like that's the thing. It's like, it's not reading that you're doing every day. It's learning every day and understanding and comprehending. Like, that's what they're trying to teach us in school. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like school can be right sometimes. Like, I don't agree with everything the education system gives us, but I believe that they just don't execute it properly. Like, okay, like they're teaching us how to read, they're teaching us how to do all these reading comprehension quizzes and tests, but like, why? They're not really explaining the why. Like, why do I have to be tested? You know what I mean? I feel like they never explain, like, you guys need to learn how to understand the material, so you aren't just like aimlessly reading. And so when you read things online, or when you read things in your real life, or you're even just talking to someone, you can learn how to comprehend and kind of learn how to think. I think that's what it is. Like, learning how to think is what they need to teach us, not just learning how to memorize answers for a test. That's why I don't believe in all these standardized tests of just like, okay, well, in like, this is here's the crazy part. Like, they're teaching us how to read and comprehend books, but then when it comes down to the test, it's like, what color was the toilet he sat on? Like, what in what Like, what point does that matter at all? Like, why does that matter? If I'm really trying to comprehend what's going on, why do I have to know like the minuscule details? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're just trying to get the gist of what's going on in the people's brain and trying to think of how the characters are thinking, how the characters are feeling. How about ask that? Like, I feel like a lot of things can be that too. And like, a lot of things are very opinionated and a lot of things can be taken into your interpretation. And schools always do that. I remember there was one exam in English class. It was like, analyze this poem, and then they're telling us like, by the way, like poems are meant to be taken like how you think about it. Like you can form your own opinion on it, you can have your own take on it. I remember like it was about like some kind of like war poem, soldiers thing, and people wrote it in their own way, and many people wrote kind of like took the same things out of it. I took it in a different way, and I wrote it, and it made sense to me. And I think if you really saw how I think and my thought process, it made sense how I interpreted that poem. But like like the teachers, they're like, oh no, this is wrong. Like, how can it be wrong? You literally told me that I could just have an opinion on it. Like, you can interpret it in my own way. So that is my problem with the education system. But anyways, why am I bringing that up? I don't know, to comprehend pages. And so that was a little bit of a pivot anyways. But to comprehend what we just read, basically, it is, let me go back really quick. I went on a big tangent. It may seem as though other people stumble upon their dream lives. Okay, yeah. So basically, what it's trying to say is that everything that happens to us happens because of the layers of life that just happens to us. We think, oh, when let's say somebody blows up online or in the internet, it's like, oh my God, like they're so lucky. Like they literally just made one TikTok and it blew up, and then boom, like it changed their life for like ever. And you know what I'm saying? Like everything, like I'm doing, it's not leading up to anything, but these guys just get an opportunity, and it's just like boom, and their life changed forever. When is it my turn? But really, life is very in layers. Like everything you do leads to something. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna lie. There are some possibly like just overnight successes like on the internet that people just go viral. But then you think about it, it's like, okay, well, how did they go viral? Like, what is their personality like? And then you see that their personality is very entertaining and it's very meant for the internet. And then you see, okay, well, what led them to get that personality? It's like all these things in their life that built them to be who they are culminated into this personality of who they are. They post a video and people like it, and people just like that, and some people will get it quicker than others, but just because somebody gets it quicker than you doesn't mean you won't get yours. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what this is kind of saying, is to just like everything is built, not everything just comes like magic. Everything you think that is magical was built with steps that you've put into your work and your dreams. You know what I'm saying? Like your relationships, especially relationships, people say like, oh, I fell in love with first sight. You know what I mean? And I believe it to like a certain extent, but like with relationships, it's like you're attracted at first sight. You know what I mean? But love is built, and that relationship is built. Like people say, oh, I found my soulmate, but finding your soulmate can be taken like in two ways, where some people think, oh, I found my soulmate, and it's just like first time I saw them, I already knew. But sometimes finding your soulmate is learning how to build with somebody and finding their soul and finding your own, and realizing over time that like, wow, like we really are working together, and my soul feels different when it's with your soul, and that is the work that you put in. Like relationships are hard. Trust me. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of trust, a lot of mistakes. It's a lot of love. It's a lot of heartache. It's a lot. But if you and your partner are willing to put in the steps to build that relationship, then it's going to become something amazing and something very warm and something very full of love and care, and people can see your relationship from the outside. They'll be like, oh my gosh, like they got it down like that, like their relationship is goals. But really behind the scenes, it's like a lot of turmoil, a lot of arguments, a lot of disagreements, a lot of agreements, and a lot of life just happening, you know? So that is in regards to relationships and your dreams. Like, you just got to keep moving forward. It's like how I'm doing this right now. How I said earlier that I don't know what to talk about, but I want to commit to the consistency. And I think that is so very important, being resilient, having perseverance, having this faith in yourself that it will come one day, and trust the universe and trust yourself, trust in your abilities that you can do what you want and achieve whatever you want, and it sucks. It sucks not knowing all the answers, and you won't have all the answers. You will never have all the answers. And I think a key to perseverance and consistency and just that overall grind is to trust yourself and being okay with not having all the answers. I want all the answers, trust me. I want to see how my future is laid out and take the exact steps planned to reach those goals, you know what I'm saying? But the truth is you can't see the future. And so you just got to trust in your work and trust and be confident in yourself and be confident in all the moves that you make and be confident and trust yourself that all the moves you make will take you to the destination that is best for you. You know what I mean? And that is meant for you. Saw a video earlier today. It's like what you are obsessed with is also obsessed with you, you know? And who knows if that's true, Maybe that's just some universal knowledge shit. But I feel like if you genuinely really want something, like a lot of things in life is very magnetic and a lot of things attract and it's very odd. And I feel like there's a lot of instances of magnetism that I encounter in life that just kind of, it doesn't make sense, but it makes sense. Like where I feel like, example, I've always wanted to do YouTube and content and be a YouTuber since I was a kid. And I've always wanted to do that. And I feel like, and now look at me, like I'm kind of on that road, on that path, and I'm doing this, like taking it seriously, and I'm really giving it my all. And it really feels like that my dreams and I have met in the middle somewhere, and we're really working to build because you and your dreams, you guys have a relationship. You have a relationship with your dreams. It's something that you're putting your time into, something you're putting your hard work into, your blood, sweat, tears, your soul, your heart, your mind, body. You're putting everything into your dreams. And so you're building that relationship and trust with your dream. You know what I'm saying? So you just got to keep going. And what it's saying is like, you just got to be resilient. You can't aim for perfect every day. And I always say, don't aim for perfect, aim for progress. You know what I'm saying? If you get it perfect right away, then you won't want to keep improving. You know what I mean? Like if you can get it perfect every time, it's just like, okay, but like what if you get it perfect every time and you're not getting the results you want? Is it still perfect? You know what I mean? So, and if you keep aiming for perfection, you'll never move. It's that analysis leads to paralysis where you're going to keep thinking about all these little details. I want it to be exactly perfect, but what is perfect? Because what is perfect to you and what is perfect to other people? Are you creating perfection for the audience? Are you creating perfection for you? But like, will you ever be satisfied? Will the audience be ever satisfied? So don't aim for perfection, aim for progress. If you can aim to be better every single day, just a little bit, 1%, then you're going to exponentially grow in the next how many weeks, months, years, you know what I'm saying? I always have to keep reminding myself that like, fuck man, like feel like I'm not where I want to be yet, but you should be proud of where you are, even if you're not where you want to be yet. You know what I'm saying? Really appreciate who you are now because eventually in the future, you're going to be like, oh, I really miss that version of me. Like that version of me was great, but then you didn't have the time to appreciate it at the time because you thought you were doubting yourself. Had this imposter syndrome of you calling yourself a loser. And I feel like I'm talking to myself here because like this is all my thoughts and how I felt about myself. Like I have crazy imposter syndrome. I've always felt away with myself where I don't deserve things or it's just a fluke or I wasn't that good enough. And then eventually in the future, I was like, man, I was really actually killing it. And then boom, 5 years later, I'll feel the same way like about that version of myself. And that's just how I've always been. I've always felt like I should appreciate who I was. So I want to change and start appreciating who I am now. So that in the future, I can look back and say, yeah, I got to appreciate that version of myself. Even if he wasn't perfect, even if he didn't have everything that I had now, even if he was making so many mistakes, even if he wasn't doing the best, even if he didn't have everything yet, I still appreciate who that guy was because that was the person that was working towards everything he ever wanted. That's what I want future me to think about myself now. If that makes sense, you know what I'm saying? So just keep persevering, keep pushing for it because it'll be your time one day, you know what I mean? And I'm talking to myself here as well. Like I just have to keep reminding myself progress. Life is long. Life is a long game, bro. And it doesn't finish in the first 30 years and then it stops. Like, no, you live for the however till you die. So keep working, keep trying to be better consistently. People say work smarter, harder. I believe if you work smarter and harder and with love and with trust, then you can do anything you want. Just be resilient, have that perseverance. And I know it's tiring to have that and it's hard to have faith in yourself and trust. But one quote that changed my life, I'm going to tell you guys, is a bird sitting on a branch is not afraid of the branch breaking because the trust is not within the strength of the branch, but the trust is within the strength of the bird's wings. I think I said that right. But basically saying like a bird is never afraid that like the tree's going to break and it's going to fall and die because the bird knows that it has the ability to fly and has that confidence that if this branch breaks, I can pull myself up and fly away. You know what I mean? Like I can get myself out of these situations because I trust my abilities as a bird. I can fly. Fuck this branch. I don't care if it breaks. Break all the trees in the world. I'm still flying. And take that as you will. You know what I mean? That's just something important that I learned that I need to keep reminding myself. I will say it is very hard. Like I said before, it's very hard not knowing all the answers. And it's very stressful sometimes. But all that stress and anxiety won't help you get to your goal. And time will keep moving forward. So just keep working at it. Trust yourself. And really just trust life and have faith. Because you can do it, fam. You got it. Everything that you want will come to you. Everything that you want is obsessed with you already. It's already happened in the future. You're just becoming the person that's that person, that version of yourself that's ready to get that. You know what I mean? That's ready to be there. You're just prepping yourself, man. Woman, child, boy, girl, they, them. You got it. With that being said, I'm going to end this episode. Thank you guys for listening. Like the video if you like the video. Subscribe if you want to see more. And you got it. And I trust in you. I believe in you. All right? All right. Take it easy. I love y'all. Be safe. See you in the next one.